All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to continue our Slinky Labs, but we're going to talk about our claim, evidence, and reasoning. We're going to answer a question here. So the question we're trying to ask is, what is the relationship between wavelength and frequency? So you're going to need to use that simulator, and you want to try and figure out what's the relationship between wavelength and frequency. So you can kind of think of it as wavelength increases, frequency, and either increases, decreases, stays the same, that sort of thing. And you want to try and figure that out. So again, you'll go to the link, and let me go ahead and pull up the simulator. This simulator is linked in the Google Classroom assignment. So what I can do, again, is I want to try and figure out how does the changing the frequency change the wavelength. So right now I'm looking, I have a wave start here, and it kind of, I want to go and kind of trying to figure out where it starts and stops. But one wave, if it starts here, let's see, I'm going to turn up the frequency just a little bit, and I'm go ahead and pause it so I can see what a wave looks like and kind of count. So again, remember the waves from baseline to baseline here. So one wave goes from 1 inch to about 5.5. So 1 1/4 really to 5.5. So 5.5 minus 1 1/4. What is that? That's going to be its wavelength. So that's about 4, right? You can do that math. All right, now let's pause here. So we can play along. I can make the frequency higher and see, is my wavelength bigger or smaller? I can make it really slow. I don't even have 1/4 of a wave there. Is that bigger or longer? So I want to see, by playing around with this, how does changing the frequency affect the length of my waves? All right, so now I'll go back to my... So what you're going to do, you're going to go to the claim evidence reasoning form that's attached, and you're going to enter in your little, what you think, as frequency increases, wavelength, what do you think happens to it? Then I'm going to need to enter some data that is my evidence. So I can take pictures, I can draw pictures into that, and I want to tell me what sort of data and describe. As they go faster, as the wavelength gets higher, the frequency increases, decreases, kind of give me a sentence or so. So qualitative evidence, again, it's screenshots, drawings, descriptions, that sort of thing. Quantitative evidence is going to be actual data, actual numbers. So I'm going to want you to go back for your quantitative evidence and go ahead and tell me what for 2 hertz, what's the wavelength? For 1 hertz, what's the wavelength? For 3 hertz, what's the wavelength? For 0.5 hertz, can you tell me the wavelength? All right, so give me at least 3 on that chart. Give me at least 3 here. If you can give me more, that's better. Then the last step is the reasoning, and you want to answer this using complete sentences. So I've given you a little example. You state out some things that you found out. You use your data to support, and then you need to make sure you connect all of that. So you see, as each time length is halved, the frequency is doubled, something like that. You connect those ideas. All right, so you are filling out that claim evidence reasoning. And again, let's show you where that is. If I go to my Google Classroom, I click on this, and then I have my work, and I just go ahead and click on that, and then I can start typing into my claim evidence reasoning form, and then when I'm all done, I can turn that in. All right, so let me see here. Click up there and turn in. So don't forget to turn it in. All right, Thank you very much. Hope that was helpful, and I look forward to reading your responses.